Close House Oversight Chairman Trey Gowdy says he has never personally spoken with President Trump, amid his defense of the president's frustrations with Attorney General Jeff Sessions recusing himself from the Russia investigation. Buzz 60 WASHINGTON, Congress's last chance to tell Americans, in a bipartisan way, about Russia's alleged interference in the 2016 election rests with 15 senators who meet twice a week behind closed doors. The Senate Intelligence Committee has become a rare symbol of unity on the divisive issue of Russia's role in the presidential race, quite a feat for a panel with members ranging from conservative Trump ally Tom Cotton, RARC, to liberal Trump critic Kamala Harris, D. Califf. While bitter partisan fighting ripped apart the House Intelligence Committee and ended its Russia investigation in March with no agreement between Republicans and Democrats, the Senate panel managed to stay united. Senators said they hope their final report on the Russia investigation, likely to come out by early fall, will present Americans with a bipartisan set of agreed-upon facts about how and why the Russians meddled in the election and whether Donald Trump's campaign colluded with the Kremlin. There is a general understanding on our committee that this is a very big, very important national security issue and that it will be helpful to the country if we can be united and try to bring down the drama and the noise, said Sen. James Lankford, Arocala. Sen. Susan Collins, a moderate Republican from Maine, credited Chairman Richard Burr, RNC, and Vice Chairman Mark Warner, DVA, with unifying the committee by keeping a promise they made to one another 14 months ago. From the very beginning, Senator Burr and Senator Warner promised they would not surprise each other, that they would discuss everything together, she said. That doesn't mean they don't have vigorous disagreements, but they are able to work them out. That cohesion was underscored this month, when Burr and Warner announced that they agreed with U.S. intelligence agencies' assessment that the Russian government tried to help Trump and hurt Hillary Clinton. The conclusion stands in stark contrast to the House Intelligence Committee, where the Republican majority said there was not enough evidence to show the Russians tried to boost Trump. From the outset, Richard Burr and I decided we were going to follow the facts and go wherever the facts take us, Warner said. We want this investigation to stand the test of time. The trust forged by Burr and Warner spread among the other senators, who spent long hours together in closed session, Collins said. There's no grandstanding in closed session, so we can really talk things out, she said. We've developed a bond, though leadership plays a big role in the senators' ability to work together. The committee also has some built-in advantages over the House panel, said Gary Schmidt, a national security expert at the American Enterprise Institute, a nonpartisan think tank. Schmidt, who served as the Senate Committee's Democratic director in the early 1980s, said the Senate panel was set up to give the minority party greater power than in a traditional committee. The senior minority member is given the title of vice chairman, a sign of greater respect and parity than typically afforded a minority leader, Schmidt said. Senators of both parties each have a staff member assigned to them instead of having to rely solely on aides hired by committee leaders, he said. That doesn't mean the Senate committee can't get into partisan squabbles, said Schmidt, who served as an intelligence advisor to the Reagan White House. It still depends a great deal on who the chairman and vice chairman are, Sen. Angus King of Maine, an independent who usually votes with Democrats, said Burr protected the committee from pressure by the White House to steer the investigation in President Trump's favor. Burr has refused to attend White House events while the investigation continues. When Trump called him last fall to urge a quick end to the inquiry, Burr said he told the president the investigation wouldn't conclude until every relevant witness had been interviewed. King said that's especially impressive because Burr served as a national security advisor to Trump's campaign, sparking initial fears by some Democrats that the chairman could not be impartial. He was not an anti-Trumper, but he has made it clear that he was going to follow the facts where they lead, King said. Give Richard a huge amount of credit for not being partisan. In contrast, House Intelligence Committee Chairman Devin Nunes, R. Califf, who served on Trump's presidential transition team, is viewed by Democrats as a fierce Trump loyalist. Democrats charged that Nunes' main goal has been to protect the president and undermine the Russia investigation led by special counsel Robert Mueller on behalf of the Justice Department. Nunes alienated Democrats early in the investigation by going on a secret trip to the White House, where he said he viewed evidence to support Trump's assertion that he was wiretapped by the Obama administration. Warner said he and Burr had to resist pressure from senators in their own parties to draw premature conclusions about whether the Trump campaign colluded with the Kremlin. There's pressure on Senator Burr to wrap things up and say there's nothing there, and some of my folks want us to say there's absolute guilt, Warner said. The issue of collusion will be the final, and most difficult, chapter of the committee's report. Senators have released their findings and recommendations on how to secure election systems from foreign hackers. The joint release from Burr and Warner on Russia's intent to help Trump gave a clear preview of the second chapter. Warner said the committee will next release chapters on how the Obama administration handled Russia's interference in 2016 and how the Russians exploited social media to sow discord among American voters. The committee will end with its findings on whether there is evidence of collusion between the Trump campaign and the Russians. Republicans on the House panel concluded that the Trump campaign used poor judgment in some of its dealings with the Russians but did not collude with them to win the election. The committee's Democrats, in a separate report, said Republicans ignored evidence of collusion because they wanted to protect Trump. "It is my hope that at the end of it, we are looking at the same set of facts," Langford said about the Senate's investigation. "All of the information will never come out, because it's classified. But as much as we can declassify, we will. We want to allow the American people to come to their own conclusions. Only a bipartisan report will have credibility," Collins said. "I realize the House has had great difficulty, but when the public sees two entirely different reports, they don't know what to think," she said. "I feel strongly that our committee should be together." Burr, who has tried to maintain a low profile during the investigation and declined to be interviewed, "It is because we are entrusted with seeing things and hearing things that nobody else can. We take that very seriously." Read or share this story. https://usat.ly/2j3vttx